Welcome back to War of the Lesbian Zombies. In the last episode, Brenda cured Betsy's autism, but infuriated her mother Jill, and the U.S. Navy rescued Carrie and Donna from certain death in shark-infested waters.
11 hours later, Donna and Carrie strolled into Terminal 4 at JFK and were greeted by their sisters.
Welcome home!
The girls cheered and danced silly. A reporter from WNN, World News Network, approached and aimed a microphone at Carrie. "What was going through your mind when you realized the plane was going to crash?" "I'm not a good swimmer." "What went wrong up there?" "I'll leave that for the crash investigators to decide. I serve beverages and snacks." "How did you survive?" "Turns out I'm a better swimmer than I thought." The reporter pointed his mic to Donna. "What were you thinking as you clung to life in shark-infested waters?" "I hoped they weren't hungry." That got a cheer from their sisters. "You both look great. No cuts and bruises." "That's because they're lesbian zombies." The reporter turned to disgraced Senator James Hoffman, holding a placard. "They turned me into a sex zombie and caused me to lose my Senate seat. All you newshounds better listen. These lesbians want to take over the world and turn every man into a sex-crazed zombie slave." An airport security cop stepped in to remove Hoffman from the terminal, but he held his ground. "It's Brenda the redhead, I tell you. She's the queen bee of the lesbian hive. Men of the world are doomed. We're all doomed. We're all doomed. We're all doomed." The WNN reporter swung his mic to the only redhead there. "Are you a lesbian zombie?" "Obviously, he's mentally ill. I'm just glad we're back in the good old US of A." They broke free and headed home. Captain Robert Johnson was not satisfied with a mess hall that hadn't served food in 75 years. They had boxes of sea rations flown in, and there were cases of warm beer the boys had brought with them. 6 Rangers stood before him, all from his old unit, Charlie 25, in Afghanistan. "Okay, boys, listen up. This is a top-secret mission to take out a terrorist in Pakistan. An imam named Muhammad Abdullah Abadi." "Never heard of him." "He's a local Taliban leader. Our job is to provide logistical support for the Rangers who will go in to cover the team that will carry out the assassination." "What unit are they from?" "It's one you've never heard of." "Jesus, Captain, what kind of unit is it? Platoon size? Company size? A rifle company?" 8 women. The Rangers looked shell-shocked. "I can only tell you they're not like any women you've ever met." A noisy deuce and a half pulled up outside. "That's our equipment. Let's get it unloaded, set up and running." "Are we ever going to meet these badass women?" "No, and consider yourselves lucky." Brenda rallied the sisters. They gathered on the lawn and listened to Carrie and Donna tell the story of their ordeal on the Aegean Sea. "Brenda, you should have seen the hunk who rescued us. Air's First Class Frank Leatherwood from the USS Carmack. His dream is to go to submarine school. There's one in New London. I hope I'll see him again someday, to thank him properly." "If Loa is willing, you will." Caroline and Girly Dog ran around playing with the ball. "What do we do about Admiral Kincaid? I didn't get to initiate him." "So far, he's been on our side, rescued you and Carrie and sailed you back to Athens on the USS Carmack. But can we count on him for Foxtrot Zero?" "What's Foxtrot Zero?" "It's complicated, Carrie. So far, we've got General Taylor on board, the Rangers, Robert in Arizona, and Alphonse Duda's yacht. But we really do need the Navy." "Yacht? We're going on a yacht?" "Yes, from Athens to Pakistan." "Pakistan? What for?" "I'll fill you in later." Brenda's cell phone chimed in a message from Juan Sr. "We got him. Baby Doc was trying to leave Port-au-Prince on a seaplane. What do we do with him?" Brenda texted back, "Give him a one-way ticket back to Paris where his shady business dealings are sure to catch up with him." "Okay, Juan Sr. caught Baby Doc." Monica immediately tensed up. I cannot wait for him to cry and beg for mercy again, but I will kill him very slowly. Monica, you have to let it go. And just forget what happened to my daughter? No, baby Doc is going to die. Why do you have to be such a hothead? He didn't rape and murder your daughter. His father's soldiers did that. Me, a hothead, Brenda? You're the one who crushed the skull of a two-timing prick for stealing your money. Not for the money, for breaking my heart. This is vengeance for my daughter I am talking about. Maya lies in a cold grave while the killers still go unpunished. He told me he had them executed, but it was a lie to save his own neck. Guilty as charged. Caroline ran up and glared at the adults. Both of you shut up. Ask Loa what Monica should do. That's a good idea, Caroline. I do not care what Loa says. I'm going to Haiti to kill the bastard. She stormed off. Jackie's cell phone rang. It was General Taylor. Hi, Lawrence. What's up? It's my aide, Colonel Miller. He's become a burr in my butt. Nosing around in my office, hell-bent on exposing Foxtrot Zero as some kind of Russian espionage ring of lesbians. I tell you, he could blow the lid off this mission before it gets off the ground. Have you talked to him about it? Damn near had him arrested. This is a real problem. I've served with Wes for 20 years. He's not a prick like Senator Hoffman. Sensitivity training in the military, my ass. The guy's a pervert. What I don't get, how come I didn't turn into a sex maniac like him? We both got the virus. It affects men in different ways. You're a one-woman man, General, loyal and honest. Hoffman is an egotistical womanizer and corrupt to the core. The lesbian zombie virus simply brings out the inner man. Does that mean Dr. Ernesto Gomez's inner man was a homely woman? Yes, Aurora. Brenda mixed his virus with a shot of her estrogen because he screwed Maria on the operating table right next to Brenda's corpse. A just end to his womanizing ways, I'd say. She's one hell of an ugly woman, I'll say that much. But a very nice gal. What kind of a man is Colonel Miller? He's a good soldier, happily married. I don't want him involved with Brenda and Loa and the sisterhood. I'm afraid he'll discover the real reason for the mission to Pakistan. Then put him right in the middle of it. He won't see the forest for the trees. Hey, Jackie, you're not only gorgeous, you're smart. I'll put him in command of the Rangers on the ground in Badish. What's Lynn going to say about putting him on the battlefield? Yeah, that might be a problem, but she's a very supportive wife. Wes will figure something out. See you on Black Friday, too. The call disconnected. Jill was watching television in the teacher's lounge. WNN footage aired from the airport as the survivors of Flight 2410 arrived from Athens. Senator James Hoffman was shouting accusations about lesbian zombies. A cop hauled him away. Just another crackpot in the city. The camera shifted to a redhead, and lo and behold, there stood Brenda. And there was Monica, too, and the other women from the ranch. Oh my God, it's them. They must be the lesbian zombies Hoffman was talking about. I should tell the authorities. No, wait. They'll think I'm crazy and haul me away like they did Hoffman. She had to consider the facts. Number 1, whatever was in that Kool-Aid completely cured Betsy. Number 2, if those women are zombies, they're beautiful and compassionate zombies. Number 3, Jorge said I'd have to live with them to understand them. Number 4, Betsy couldn't stop talking about Caroline. Betsy is probably the smartest 4th grader in history. She finally has a friend in Caroline. Lesbian zombies are the nicest women I've ever met. No, I'm not calling the authorities. I'm calling Jorge. By the time Jorge arrived, Betsy had colored every picture in the coloring book perfectly. And while on the road to Jackie's mansion, she brimmed with excitement as she watched the world go by outside the window. Something she wasn't interested in before. Jorge, which one of those women is Caroline's mother? Monica is her adopted mom. Her parents were killed in a car crash. Caroline didn't get a scratch. A miracle? We think so. Betsy sure does like Caroline. They are good for each other. The Mercedes turned up the drive to the ranch. Everyone rushed up to welcome them. Caroline and Betsy and Girly Dog were soon headed off to play. Jill watched the trio go. Look at how happy they are. So Jill, what would make your life perfect? Now that Betsy is doing well, all I have to worry about is my cancer. If you join our sisterhood, that will go away. Does the sisterhood have anything to do with lesbian zombies? Girls, I'm going to show Jill the crystal shrine, and while we're gone, do what you do best. Get naked and jump in the hot tub. The girls giggled and squealed as they stripped to the buff and scampered out to the pool deck. Wow! Jill was a little breathless. That was certainly interesting. Come with me. We can join them later. They set out for the crystal shrine. I guess they're all zombies, but they seem like normal women, not the zombies Hoffman was talking about. Hoffman's right about us. We are lesbian zombies. Are you going to take over the world like he said? Men have oppressed women since the beginning of human history. Even cavemen are depicted with clubs on their shoulders and dragging women by the hair. Don't you think it's about time we turn the tables on them? Would serve them right. I know you harbor dark thoughts about Betsy's father, but you can't bring yourself to kill him. Still, you'd like to see him hanged, or gutted, or set on fire. Jill stopped walking. Brenda, stop reading my mind. It freaks me out. You may be a mild-mannered schoolteacher, but deep in your soul, you have homicidal fantasies. Please don't tell the other girls. Honey, Jerry Henderson is the kind of man the sisterhood abhors. The pig got you pregnant, abandoned you, and doesn't pay child support. He made me feel like the scum of the earth. We won't fault you for wanting him dead. How many men have you killed? None. We only kill pigs. After a tour of the crystal shrine and telling Jill about the goddess Loa, Brenda popped the question. Jill, it's time for the moment of truth. Are you with us, or do you want Jorge to take you and Betsy back home? If you choose to leave, however, Betsy will revert back to her autistic self, and you will die of cancer. What do I have to do, to become a lesbian zombie? It starts with a kiss. Then you have to give yourself completely to the sisterhood, preferably in the hot tub. Will it hurt? It's a lot of fun, really. Then by all means, kiss me, Brenda. Brenda embraced Jill and gave her a full-on, open-mouthed kiss with a lot of tongue and passion, then released her. Jill gasped. That's the best anyone has ever kissed me. The thought of all those naked women in the hot tub not only interested her now, but joining them became a sudden need that welled up deep inside where her hottest fantasies had lain in wait to be awakened. She took Brenda's hand. Let's go. I want to meet my new sisters right away. They ran to the hot tub, stripped off their clothes, and jumped into the bubbly waters of paradise. The inhabitants therein were thrilled and frolicked around Jill with welcoming affection. The sisters embraced her and began her transition into the sisterhood. Chloe dipped under the bubbling surface, and the girls leaned Jill against the edge while kissing and caressing her everywhere. Jill felt the tenderness that only a woman's tongue could deliver down there. It didn't take long for the starry heavens to blur in a wave of carnal delight. At that moment, something changed inside her body. A freshening, a tightening, a strengthening of her limbs and core. Desire for these women flooded her heart and drove her to seek out their softest flesh, with her hands, her lips, and her soul. She now knew she was a beautiful lesbian zombie sister. Chloe surfaced, and as water ran down her face, she kissed a thoroughly satisfied Jill. And that's how we play submarine.
Hey, that's great. The sisterhood is grown by one more hottie. A teacher, no less. Betsy and Carolyn will be happy about that. And it looks like Colonel Miller's curiosity just bought him a ticket to Pakistan. Something tells me he's not going to be happy about that. We hope to see you for episode 13. You'll want to watch Senator Hoffman humiliate himself on national TV. And remember Max from Max's Diner? His funeral attracts some nasty customers.